going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Eat your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
Hello. You guys really not hear me? Hello? I don't know if this is... How is that possible? I'm talking. Still nothing? Hello. You can hear me now. Well, I just ruined an amazing intro. It was awesome. It was the best intro I've ever done. I mean, it was spectacular. I said, "What's going on?" I said, "This is Colin," and then I said, "It's very low volume." All right. Well, I'm just gonna keep talking. Anyways, it's my daughter's birthday today. That's what I was saying. I'm not touching the mic. I'm not touching anything. I just said happy birthday to my daughter, but apparently, StreamYard didn't want that to be broadcasted everywhere, so maybe I should stop saying it. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go. You guys want to watch some court? I want to watch some court. Let's watch some court. Yeah, I've got a bunch of random stuff tonight, as per usual. I don't even remember what's on this clip because now I'm confused. My intro got messed up. Now I don't even know what to say. So let's just go. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Now, if you guys tell me you can't hear the video,
Court does call the case
both
People
right.
versus Serrano Johnson.
It absolutely is your fault. Absolutely.
Public Defender Chelsea Vergils with and on behalf of Cyrano Johnson. Mr. Johnson, please state your name.
Serrano Johnson.
I mispronounce your name every time, sir. Okay, I apologize.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the time and date set for a probable cause conference. Regarding that, we are asking for an adjournment to show compliance with his bond conditions. I understand he's had a violation that we are prepared to deal with today.
Oh, she would absolutely love
Mr.
that.
Johnson is prepared to plead guilty
She would absolutely love that nickname. I'm going to start calling her that, see how she reacts. Yes, that's happening.
to violating his bond by consuming alcohol on July 7th.
I'll accept that. Before imposing any sentence regarding that, I'm going to ask this question. He has indicated that he had O'Doul's. So my only question is, does your client wish to stick to that story?
All right, before we hear this guy's amazing story, thank you, Biggin. Thank you so much for the raid, my friend. I appreciate it. Welcome to all the raiders. We just got started. You really haven't missed anything. We've got a guy wearing a tuxedo to court, and he tested positive for alcohol. He claims it was O'Doul's. All right, we've heard this story before. O'Doul's does have a little alcohol in it. I don't remember if they say his actual blood alcohol level. I don't remember if they do or not. But this one gets weird pretty quickly. But O'Doul's. Anyways, Biggin, thank you so much for the raid. I do appreciate it.
Or does he wish to tell me the truth?
I believe that he would not be sticking to that story, that he would be stating that he consumed beer.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Then why'd you tell everybody O'Doul?
I had O'Doul's first, but I needed beer.
You had O'Doul.
Yeah. I don't look like what I'm going through.
No.
I had O'Doul's.
Are
but
you
I had beer.
tell me that? So did you tell them that?
Yes.
That you had O'Doul's first and then had beer?
Maybe I omitted the beers, but yes.
What?
I omitted the beer.
Hold it. You know what, sir? Don't play fast and loose.
I got you.
Story.
I consume alcohol.
I know that.
Isn't it the opposite of a gateway beer though? Like you drink O'Doul's when you don't want to drink. So that's the opposite. It's like the exit ramp beer. I don't know. I have no idea. Rich and I almost called you Richard. Rich and Jean, thank you so much for the 2 months. That is awesome. Thank you so much.
You lied to them. Did you even have an O'Doul's that day?
Yes.
How many?
6.
And then how many beers?
2.
So why didn't you tell them that you had the beer?
I just omitted.
Pardon?
I just didn't. I was afraid of what might happen. I thought I could pass.
Yeah, I would be too, because
What?
you're violating your bond condition.
Indeed.
PBR used to be the best cheap beer there was. It was just the best cheap beer, and then it turned hipster. I didn't like it. I didn't like how all the cool people thought it was cool to drink PBR. It's like no, it's just a good cheap beer. That's it. There's a couple of them out there that are just good cheap beers.
So, first of all, we did the calculation because the only story you gave is that you had O'Doul's. To get to the level that you were at, you would have had to have 25 O'Doul's in an hour
No. I didn't have
in
that.
order to reach that level,
Sure.
and could not have used the bathroom because you couldn't eliminate in order to get to that level. That's how stupid your story was. And now you can't even, you can't bring yourself to say that you were intentionally lying to them and attempting to mislead them. It was not just a simple omission. Counsel, what did you want me to do with this case?
Hey, take it easy. Thank you for stopping by. I know you're here every single night. Hopefully your head gets better quickly. Migraines suck. They really do.
Regarding the probable cause conference, we're asking for a 2-week adjournment so that he can show that he's going to comply with the court's orders.
Well, I don't think he's going to have a choice on that, quite frankly, Mr. Allen.
We are asking for him to remain out of custody today. This would be his first bond violation. He is here to be honest with you, although the truth doesn't always make sense.
Really?
He is.
Really?
He's here.
No, he was not being honest. I asked him the question and then asked him the question of why didn't he tell them? And he couldn't even be honest about that. I'll let you go ahead with your argument, but I'm not buying any of that.
Your Honor, he is honest about the fact that he consumed alcohol, and he is very open to treatment. He understands that he has a substance issue and he wants to get help for that. Your Honor, he's a business owner. There's a lot of pressure on him. He provides for himself and his family. He also does volunteer work, not court ordered, just out of the goodness of his heart. He is open to treatment, substance abuse, counseling. He plans to seek that regardless of whether the court orders it or not. We're asking you to keep him out of custody with a scram tether. Again, this would be his first violation. And he is asking for the opportunity to show compliance while out of custody.
Anything from
I don't know how you can. It is a bow tie. I just don't know how you can focus on the bow tie when you have that behemoth of a gorgeous man standing behind him, though. Kind of, silhouettes that little bow tie of his. You guys are killing it with super chats tonight. Thank you so much, guys. This one's almost over. I'm gonna hit all of them after this is over. There's only about 2 minutes left of this, though.
The people.
Your Honor, we do have concern about Mr. Johnson's ability to comply with the bond conditions. As stated, this is his second offense. I think it's just a couple of years. We would note that in this case, he allegedly was found not awake in a vehicle that was in the street with 2 guns on him. Although he's only charged with 1 CCW. So we do have some concerns about whether he's able to comply with those bond conditions.
Anything else?
Your Honor, I just think that he would have a better opportunity to get the treatment and help that he needs out of custody.
He first has to admit that he has a problem.
I do.
The way that he does admit that is he stops lying. Defendant's bond at this time is revoked. Defendant's remanded. Court does call the case. People versus.
Yeah. That's a good way to start the night, right? We get a Mr. Allen clip right off the bat. Miss Orchid Blooms, thank you so much for the 10 months. I appreciate it. That is awesome. Thank you. Vic, Mary Smith's late fee. Thank you, Vic. I appreciate it. You're always hooking people up with their late fees. That's awesome of you. Legal Fiction, thank you so much. Very generous of you. 20 gifted memberships. Welcome to the 20 new members. Legal Fiction, thank you so much. Very generous of you. You're awesome. And then Mary, Vic's perfectly on time. I see what you did there. That's good. That's good. I'm glad I waited. I read them both back to back. Made it better. Mary, thank you so much. That's awesome. All right. Yes. Was that actually a tuxedo, or was he just wearing a bow tie? I mean, what is the difference between a tuxedo and a suit? I mean, really, what is? Besides the bow tie? I mean, a tuxedo is more formal than just your traditional suit, but there's some really nice suits out there. I don't know. Am I thinking about this too much? I'm thinking about this too much. Let's move on.
Good morning, Judge. The court can call people.
Oh, this is a follow-up. I did this, I think it was last week. This is the video where the attorney kind of talked his client into jail and then talked her out of jail, but she was still crying about it. And because she didn't understand what was going on. She thought she was going to jail. But apparently there's been a bunch of weird things that have gone on, and we're back a week later. So this is a follow-up.
Versus Bentley, time and date set for a probation violation hearing and a probation violation arraignment on an amended warrant dated 7/7/25.
Your Honor, good morning. Dennis Johnston on behalf of Ms. Bentley.
Have you apprised your client of the nature of the new warrant, counsel?
I have, yes, Your Honor.
And what's her wish this morning?
As to the arraignment of the warrant, we acknowledge receipt of a copy of the requested warrant. Stand mute to the allegation.
Court will enter a plea not guilty.
Your Honor, as to the allegation, there is some disagreement between what's been alleged and Ms. Bentley's position. Would the court entertain a no contest plea to expedite?
Mr. Ramsky, can we do that?
Judge, we actually have Ms. Lumen here today.
All right, Ms. Lumen.
Your Honor, I don't believe no contest is applicable for probation violations.
Yeah, Grizzly. I don't love this. We used to be used to it. I mean, Judge Simpson used to do his courtroom this way. A lot of people did, and they stopped. People are learning how to use Zoom. This is kind of annoying, especially when you're trying to grab screenshots from the judge. Like it's really small. It's hard to do that.
I don't either. Mr. Sorrentino? Mr. Sorrentino.
But one thing real quick, and no one's called this out yet. Judge has a ceiling fan going. We have a ceiling fan alert with the judge. Come on.
Did you hear my question? Are you muted? You're not, you don't appear to be muted. We can't hear you. Can you hear him, Francesca?
I can't, Judge.
Diane?
Yes, Judge.
Call Sorrentino and tell him he's inaudible. So,
I'm audible.
no,
I was on mute.
Okay. It didn't show on the screen. Ms. Lumen and I are of the opinion you can't do a no contest plea on a probation violation matter. Do you agree?
I agree, Judge.
Okay.
And
So,
Your Honor,
I'm not ignoring you guys. I just didn't see it. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I read most of the chat. I miss some, but I see most. Every once in a while, something gets by me.
What case are we on?
Mr. Johnson, I'm just for your information. I mean, as you probably already know, I'm simply going to read the allegation and ask her if that's true. Is she not capable of answering that question?
no, and I was going to suggest if we could simply ask her to confirm that since the warrant was issued 2 weeks ago, there's been no communication with probation.
Isn't that the same thing almost?
It is, but I think
I mean,
it's a
that's
little more.
that's fine. I'm good with that. Swear the defendant.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Ms. Lumen, how many total warrants are there?
For Miss Bentley, just the one, Your Honor.
Oh, and she was never arraigned on that, Francesca?
I'm sorry, Judge, what?
She was never arraigned on the new warrant? When you said new warrant, I thought that implied there was an existing warrant.
There was, Judge. She was arraigned on that one.
So
Well,
the
what's
warrant.
As of now, she's arraigned on both of them.
All right, I only see the one dated 7/7, Miss Lumen. Do you?
Right. The other warrant was a court warrant, Your Honor, for her failing to turn herself into jail as part of her sentence at a previous violation.
So it's the prosecutor.
All right, but did she was never
So
violated for her failure to turn herself in, Miss Lumen?
No, because she was before you at a PV. You terminated her probation and sentenced her to a jail term to turn herself in at a later date. She failed to do so, and you reinstated her on probation when you saw her at the violation here at the arraignment on June 27th.
No.
All right, well that certainly explains it. Did we?
That's not exactly what happened. So she absconded from probation. She was supposed to turn herself into jail. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. I didn't go back and watch part one before I saw this one, but I believe I think it was 2021, she was supposed to turn herself into jail. She never did that. Then in the meantime, she hired an attorney. She's trying to turn her life around. She hired an attorney. The attorney brought this case back up. So last week they had a probation violation hearing, but it happened 4 years ago. So he reinstated her on probation and made her get a GPS tether on. That was the result of what happened. But there was a lot of back and forth because they didn't know what to do. Because he terminated her from probation, but then he couldn't send her. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. I understand why they're confused, but it was. She's supposed to have an ankle monitor on right now. I don't know if she does.
Swear her, Francesca.
Mary, the defendant is Christina Bentley. She's kind of in the middle of the screen. She's in a car in the middle of the screen.
Francesca?
Yes, Judge, we did.
All right, ma'am, state your name.
Christina Bentley.
Do you understand, ma'am, you're waiving your right to a contested hearing where the people would have to
I don't
prove you
even know what's
violated the
going on.
terms
No,
of
I
your
don't
probation?
understand at all. I have no idea what's going on. I don't understand.
Mr. Johnson.
Christina, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, here,
All
you know
right.
what? Diane, pass this matter, Francesca. Call another one. Diane,
Yes, Judge.
send Johnston and Bentley to a breakout room.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, the court can call People versus Dykes, time and date set for a pretrial on one file and 2 sentences. Defendant Dykes has failed.
Be quiet, Miss Bentley. Which case did you call, Francesca?
Judge, let me just mute Miss Bentley. People versus Dykes, date and time set for.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I believe we're ready to recall People versus Bentley.
All right, Mr. Johnston, I have your appearances. Mr. Johnston, is your client pleading guilty or not?
We are going to stipulate to the fact that since 6/27 of this year, she has not communicated with probation.
All right. So I was in the middle of asking her questions, and she said she didn't know what was going on. But let's go back and try that again. Ma'am, do you understand that you're waiving your right to a contested hearing where the people would have to prove you violated the terms of your probation?
Yes.
Do you understand, ma'am, the maximum penalty you may receive is up to 4 years in prison?
Yes.
Is it true, ma'am, you violated your probation in that you, well, rephrase it. You asked the question, Mr. Johnson, how you want it worded.
Christina, is it true that since your probation was reinstated on June 27, there has been no communication between you and your probation agent?
That's correct.
I'm satisfied, Your
Oh man, she never went. She didn't go get her tether on. Oh, I missed that when I was listening to this earlier. That's not good. C Dumps, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I appreciate it. Welcome to the new member. Thank you, C Dumps.
All right, to this probation violation, how do you plead, ma'am?
I stand contest or not guilty.
How do you plead, ma'am? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Christina,
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 I'm
you're
sorry,
pleading.
guilty.
All right, we're going to do a
Christina.
hearing, Mr. Johnson.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I said, I guess we have to do a hearing. What was the point of the breakout room if she's pleading not guilty? And you told me she was going to plead guilty.
That's true.
That's
Christina.
right. Yeah.
All right,
Your
Christina.
Honor, I'm sorry, I missed.
Stop talking, Christina.
Yes, I plead guilty.
Stop. Okay.
And let me ask it again. To the probation violation just recited by Mr. Johnston, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Court will accept the plea guilty. Anything you want to say on your behalf before I impose sentence?
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, we acknowledge receipt of a copy of the probation violation update report. Find it to be factually accurate and correct. Nothing to add to it or delete from it. As it relates to sentencing this morning, first of all, it's on a positive note. She has been on GPS tether status since June 27, to my knowledge, without incident. So she appears to be in compliance in that regard. Secondly, on the June 27 hearing date before Your Honor, I made an extensive record as to all of those factors that I believe weighed in her favor as it relates to the issue of a sentencing in this case, including her lengthy mental health history. But this morning, I think it breaks down to one important fact, and that is for the first time in her life, she has secured and obtained gainful full-time employment. She is just a matter of days away from completing her probation status successfully, at which time she'll receive full benefits. And again, for the first time in her life, will not be on public assistance any longer. So very, very happy to report that on her behalf. In the instant matter, as we've noted on this record today, you did on June 27 reinstate her probation, put her on the tether status, extended her probation for 1 year. I don't want to be presumptuous, but I'm reading that a little bit as maybe Your Honor is inclined to give her one more opportunity. I would ask that you certainly entertain that. And again, just emphasizing that the real issue today is that any imposition of any term of incarceration is going to result in her loss of employment and all the good things that are set to come out of that employment. So at this point in time, Your Honor, we would ask you respectfully to give her a second opportunity to report to the jail to complete a 45-day jail sentence. And if she doesn't, then given the lengthy history of this cause, I don't want to think about what the impact of that might be if she doesn't comply. I know that she wants to allocute briefly, Christina, at which time she'll be ready for sentencing.
All right. That's kind of what I told you guys. She's been getting her life back together. She's had this warrant for not turning herself in for years. So, I mean, she did the right thing. She hired an attorney. She's in front of the judge to try to figure it out. And for those of you saying that Judge Caretti's grumpy, he's kind of always like this. Even when he's in a good mood, this is exactly how he is at all times. Yeah, just who he is. What he sounds like when he's talking normally, I guess. I don't know. Mary, I know that's supposed to be Lisa. I know it's supposed to be Lisa. Lisa Hessling's a little later than. Oh wait, hold on. Lisa Hessling's a little later than me. Fee. There we go. Sometimes the words are hard. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. Wixom, I'll answer that question after this one. Or after this clip. And then Lisa Hessling, new member. Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate it. That is awesome. Welcome to the family. And Mary, you're the fee for correcting your mistake, the autocorrect. Thank you. I appreciate it, Mary. All right, let's keep going. This one's almost over.
Ma'am, anything you want to say?
Your Honor, I totally have regretted every day since 2 years ago when you did sentence me to weekends that I did not go turn myself in, because I have changed my life around completely. And I just want you to know, like, I really have changed. And if you could reinstate my weekends, I will. I'm going to stay on GPS tether. That way, I go. And like my lawyer stated, if I mess this up, I can't even imagine what you would do to me. So I'm not. I would just really appreciate if you could put all my good stuff, if you've read my letters, into consideration with sentencing today.
Mr. Johnson, you're retained counsel on this, are you not?
Yes, and if I might just jump in, there are fines and costs due of $1,491. She is in a position to pay those off immediately. Yep.
All right, and she waives her right to be physically present in court for sentencing, Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
All right, it is the sense of the court she be continued on probation with all the terms and conditions in full force and effect. I'll order she serve 6 months in the Macomb County Jail. Credit for what, Miss Lumen?
14 days, Your Honor.
And I'm going to, Mr. Johnson, continue her on tether. I'm going to give her, we're going to do a review date with respect to that 6 months, see how she does. Miss Lumen?
Is that held in abeyance, Your Honor, the 6 months?
Yes.
Okay.
But I need her credit.
14 days.
Okay. I'll give her credit for 14 days time served. I'll order that she serve 4 months on GPS tether with the EMS company. I'll give her credit back to her original hookup date. Ma'am, you're entitled as a matter of constitutional right to file an application for leave to appeal your conviction and sentence. If you're financially unable to obtain counsel, this court will appoint counsel for you. Request for assistance of counsel must be made within 6 months. Mr. Johnson, you're to get assigned advice of rights to the court and make this, Ms. Lumen, zero tolerance on Ms. Bentley. And a review date in 6 months?
Judge, that would be January 22nd of 2026 at 9:30.
What
All
was
right,
it?
you have to appear that date, ma'am. You'll get no further notice.
January 22nd of 26, Mr. Sorrentino. Judge or deputy at Macomb County Jail.
All right, I'm a little surprised by that. Yeah, especially if you guys didn't see the first hearing, he was pretty ticked off at her in the first hearing. Gave her a chance, then she didn't get the tether put on, and then he gave her another chance. I don't think he remembers what happened last week. Just saying. Anyways, let's move on. We can just go on to the next one. Real quick, Wixom. What time is his? Hold on. Whenever I go up to Michigan, I make it an all-day thing. So I'll be court hopping a little bit. But let's see. Bench trial starts at 10 a.m. So that'll be my first stop. So I'll probably get to Taylor at about 9 a.m. Yep, that sounds about right. I'll be in Taylor at about 9, and we'll watch the bench trial there. Then it depends what's going on. Might head over to Judge Simpson after that. Maybe I'll head to the 36th district. It depends. Maybe we'll jump down and say hi to DeSanto. That's kind of going to be a game plan thing because got to see who has the docket and who can we watch. Which that changes a lot. But there you go. I'll be in Taylor at 9 a.m. unless the bench trial gets pushed off for some reason, which still might happen. And Tool Monkey, that's an interesting question. I would imagine incarceration does, because the public defender, will be your attorney for just, what, 3, maybe 4 appearances, depending on what your charges are. So I'm going to guess incarceration would cost more. That's just a guess, though. I don't know. Okay, next case. Let's go.
The court will call the case of the state of Michigan versus Kelsey Salter, case number 24S00225.
Tiffany Woods for the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexandria Taylor on behalf of Kelsey Salter, who is present via Zoom, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning. Ms. Salter, please state your name.
Kelsey Salter.
William, I missed what you said. What I don't know what's petty. Did I do something, or are you referring to the last court case? I don't know. I missed what you said.
Thank you. Today's the day and time scheduled for sentencing in this case. Have you had a chance to go over the pre-sentence investigation report with your client?
Yes, Your Honor. I received the pre-sentence report and I sent it to Ms. Salter, and we were able to go over it. I don't have any corrections, additions, or deletions, but I just have some things to say on her behalf when Your Honor pleases.
All right. Thank you so much. Ms. Woods?
Judge, I also had an opportunity to review the report, and I'd ask the court to follow the recommendations if we're within that report.
Yeah, usually he has his green screen on. When he's not in the courtroom, he has his green screen. I don't know why he didn't have it on. Maybe he thought he did and didn't. I don't know. I agree with you. It was a little unprofessional, but it's Zoom. I don't know what else to say, but I do agree with you. It does look unprofessional.
The defendant is not taking responsibility at all for what she did. She actually blames the child and the child's mother, and she is a mother herself. And it's shocking to hear, to read that. And I wonder how she would feel if someone did that to her child when her child was that young, how she would feel about that. So it's unfortunate that it doesn't appear that she's taking responsibility or is going to learn anything from this. So that's all I have to say, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I was told that the victim might be present today. Is that not the case?
Let me check, Judge.
Nobody. Is anybody in the living room?
Judge, I do not see her present on Zoom today.
Thank you. That's it. They are here. 1 second.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Are you Miss, and I'm probably going to butcher this name, Panayoti Kemp?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you pronounce that?
Panayota.
Very beautiful. Thank you. It's my understanding that you're here in the Salter matter and you wanted to make a victim impact statement today.
I asked the probation officer when I spoke to her, and she said I didn't have to. If it's okay, I'd rather pass on that.
Okay, then you may.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Taylor, what would you like to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I disagree with what Madam Prosecutor is saying. In the summary, the agent noted that the defendant was open during the interview and very forthcoming. That's a direct quote, even though her version of the events was different than that of the victim and witness. I don't know if this part is a discrepancy, but in the police report, when my client gave a statement, she said she did not mean to bump into the child. She was rushing, and so this isn't some case where my client intentionally sought to assault a minor. That's not the case at all. And so, Your Honor, my client, again, she was forthcoming about the situation. She's presented in this matter to try to resolve it in the best manner forward. We disagree with the recommendations. And again, my client, if she knew that there was a possibility of jail, we would have just proceeded to trial.
All right, looks like we're all jumping on the fire escape with oh boy. Not really sure what we're going to be doing out there, but party on the fire escape. Let's go.
So the recommendation is for 93 days with 30 days to be served immediately with the balance to be suspended. But again, Your Honor, this is not a case where jail is warranted. My client is currently seeing a therapist and a psychiatrist, so she could do anger management with her therapist. And there's no issue with the no contact. I mean, my client doesn't know that child or the mother. And, we're asking that there be no random drug and alcohol because neither drugs nor alcohol have anything to do with what happened in Tim Hortons that day. So, Your Honor, we're just asking that that the entirety of the jail be suspended upon successful completion of probation. Your Honor, we're asking for 12 months.
This happened at Tim Hortons at Timmy's. Oh man, you're I mean that's why can't I think of words? Leave Tim Tims alone. Why you gotta act out at Timmy's?
Probation. Again, and she could do the anger management through her current therapist and/or psychiatrist. And we have no objection to, Your Honor, reviewing this matter in 60 days as recommended.
Well, Ms. Taylor, I'm going to ask you, I mean, you read the parts that were favorable to your client, but here's the part that it says that you didn't read. The defendant did not apologize for her actions. She tried to justify what transpired. Do you agree with me that that's the second part of the summary that you read?
I do, Your Honor. I see. I agree with you. The first two sentences that she said that the defendant did not apologize and tried to justify what happened, which I think is, consistent with her statement in the police report that she did not mean to bump him. So there's a difference in the party's version of what happened. And then, as noted in the police report, Tim Hortons did not have any camera footage. So what my client is saying and obviously what the child's mother is saying is different.
Yeah, but your client is the one who's sitting here after having pled to the charge.
Yes.
And the charge was hip checking a child. Not once, but twice. I don't know how that is an accident. I could see one incident where someone is bumped, but 2 times? That in no way, shape, or form sounds accidental to me.
Understand, Your Honor.
Ms. Salter, what do you have to say today, ma'am?
Just want to apologize to everybody that's involved. I definitely did not bump anybody twice. I walked past one time walking out the store. Like, this is not my character. I've been through many situations in my life, but never nothing like this. Like, I have nieces and nephews that age that I get every weekend for my sister. Like, I understand it.
I'm guessing that if she's charged with this, she maliciously didn't just bump the child. She hip check, like someone said hip check earlier. That's what I'm guessing she did. Something malicious. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a charge. My 2 cents.
This went from me like beeping my horn to her making it seem like, I don't know. I really don't know. Well, I thought I was doing the right thing. I sat there and waited. She was on the phone with someone. Like, you could tell they were like arguing. I was in a car with somebody too. That's the reason I was out there taking them to court at Ypsilanti that day. I beat my horn and she sat there for a second, like didn't even acknowledge it was a whole line behind me on the main road. When she looked at me and turned away, I just tapped my hand on the horn a little bit. So, because if I would have pulled in, I could have pulled in, but it just would have been too close. So when I walked in the store, as she walked past my car, she was like, "Your fat ass is gonna have a heart attack." But mind you, I like didn't have a voice. I was coming back from like strep throat. And even in the police report, like the guy that called me said that like he could barely even hear what I was saying because I barely could talk. So how was I even able to yell? I'm not. She was upset because I beat my horn, but it was so many people behind me. It was 7:30 in the morning. Like she was on the phone, like I don't know. She's making it seem like she was just getting her son out, but that wasn't the case. She like looked at me, sat there on the phone. It was like a whole 2 minutes before she even shut the door. When I walked in the store, she was still on the phone being belligerent. I was with someone that I was taking to court. We both walked in the store and she was just like yelling. And I'm like, "Ma'am, it's not that serious. I just wanted you to shut the door." And she was just going off and off. Her son was running around the tables playing. So once I said that to her, she like grabbed him and pulled him in front of her. And she was like, just was still trying to negotiate. So the lady behind the counter, like they knew each other personally, she called her name. And she was like, something about her fat ass. And I was like, "It's not that serious." And the ma'am, she just told me to leave and I left the store. I walked past them one time.
Anything else you need to say here today?
No, I just want to apologize for the situation. Like, I don't be in things like this. And this is not my character.
And Judge, I don't know if the victim may want to speak. It seems like she may want to address.
Yeah, she does. She wasn't gonna say anything until she just heard that. You saw her down there shaking her head. It's like, that's not what happened. No. I think this is when it gets good.
The court at this time.
Is that correct, Ms. Kemp?
It is correct, Your Honor. For someone to say that they're sorry and to apologize and make this bogus story that I was on my phone, and to make accusations that there were cars behind her, there were no other vehicles behind her. She drove in because maybe she doesn't remember that day as clear as I do, because it was my child that she hit. She knew exactly what she was doing when she did that. There are witnesses. I do not know the lady from Tim Hortons. And if I have to bring my son, and I don't want to because he is a minor, on camera to let you know exactly what happened, he will tell you what happened. She proceeded to come through into the entrance. I was parked right by the entrance because there's parking spots there. And I had opened the door for my son to come out. As my son was coming out, she clearly was in a rush. She clearly was agitated prior, because even the witnesses outside were appalled by her behavior. And maybe her voice wasn't very well when she was giving her statement, but probably because she was screaming at me through the window, "You better move or I'm going to beat your ASS," is what came out of the defendant's mouth. I proceeded to go inside. We were in line. She did not come in with anybody. She was the only one that came in. There was a passenger in her vehicle. He did not come in. The male did not come in. She walked, body checked my child out of the line. I said to her, "Do not touch my child." We proceeded to try go around her to get back into the line, and she kept blocking us. And then proceeded to turn around, got into my face, was up to my nose, and said, "What are you going to do about it?" The Tim Hortons manager behind there saw everything. So you have all employees, including the manager, myself and my son, where our stories align. We all know what happened. And her story is totally different. For me, it's appalling that someone would come after a child like that because they're so irritated over a parking spot or because they're in a rush. A child. So when she says that she's sorry, she's not sorry. She's sorry she got caught, because when she left at Tim Hortons, when the manager said to her, "Leave, I know exactly what you did," and she proceeded to tell the manager, "I don't care." And then when I got on the phone and I called the police, she went outside, flipped me the bird, got in her car and left.
Anything further, Ms. Kemp?
No.
All right. I appreciate
Thank you, Your
your-
Honor.
Thank you. So, is anyone able to tell me who Lindsay Bowen is? Is that the manager, Ms. Woods?
Well, I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't hear you.
Lindsay Bowen. Do you know who that individual is?
Let me check my notes, Judge.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she dropped off Zoom or just turned her camera off. I'm guessing we're gonna find out real quick though.
Yes, Judge. Lindsay Bowen is the manager at the Tim Hortons who was present that day.
So I believe that Ms. Salter is given a statement today that that person knows Ms. Kemp, and Ms. Kemp is saying that's not true. And in addition to that, not only did the stories diverge so very much, but Ms. Salter seems to have been much more aggressive than it's even indicated in this police report. So if she's sitting here lying to me, the way it appears she might be, then I need to take a deeper dive into this, because 30 days may not be enough. So I think I'd like to see if you can reach out to Ms. Bowen, who claims that she saw all of this, and find out, one, does she know Ms. Kemp? And two, whether or not she's willing to come to court here today to tell me her version of this, because I don't like for anybody to lie to me or play games with me. That's a mistake. So why don't we adjourn this and get some deeper information on where we are with this case?
Mary, thank you so much.
Your
for
Honor,
this. I appreciate it. Hitchbot super late fee. Yep, super late fee. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate it. And yeah, I think she just turned her camera off. If she completely dropped, I'm pretty sure the judge would be calling her out on it right now. The prosecutor probably would be too. They could probably still see her name on the list, just not on the screen. It's just my guess.
I mean, there's a possibility and that my client at this point would just want to withdraw her plea and move forward to trial, especially if we're going to take testimony from witnesses.
She can file whatever motion she wants to file, and I'll make a determination on that.
Okay.
How about we do this on August 14th at 10 o'clock a.m.?
Hold on one second, Your Honor, please. Let me check that date. You said at 10 a.m., Judge? Okay.
I wish I had that little clip that Biggin plays. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
That works for me, Your Honor.
So judges, August 4th or August 14th at 10 a.m.?
14th, Ms. Woods.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see everybody then.
See you then, Your Honor. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Yep. That happened. That happened. Wixom. Dang. Hold on. Well, nope. Hold on. No, hold on. We're not holding on for Wixom. No, we are holding on for Wixom. Man, okay, let me start over. Wixom, very generous of you. Thank you so much. Underwriting your Monday trip to Michigan. I usually donate by way of PayPal, but hey, YouTube does provide the platform. So cheers. Thank you. I do appreciate it, Wixom. Very generous of you. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can stop by and we can watch it together. If Eric Martin gets released from jail that day, I might see. I don't know if I'm going to. I've been thinking about trying to meet him, but I don't know how long that process is. If after that, if they just release him from jail that day, it'd probably be a couple of hours. I'm not going to wait around for that. Anyways, I'm talking to myself now, just thinking out loud. Wixom, thank you so much. Super generous of you. I do appreciate it. Mary, no, we've already read this one. Somehow I just skipped way back. This is what I wanted. Phil, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Welcome to the 5 new members. Thank you so much, Phil and Lisa. Thank you for the gifted membership. Another new member, 6 new members. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And Wixom, extremely generous of you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. All right. Okay. We're moving down to Texas. We're going to change gears a little bit. Headed down to Texas with Judge Garcia. And this might be the weirdest landlord-tenant case I've ever seen. No words can describe the weirdness that this is. And Judge is just fed up by the end of it. You'll see. Let's go.
Ben and Cheryl.
What is going on? What is going on? Mary. Thank you. Wixom said so. You know what? Wixom, I appreciate it. Mary, that is awesome. Very generous. Jeez, guys. Jeez. Killing it tonight. Mary, that is very generous. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and Wixom. VIPs. Oh my gosh. I mean, Jedi. I don't know what to say. Man, you guys got me all choked up and everything. Jedi, thank you. Mary, thank you. Wixom, thank you. Jeez, guys. Jeez. All right, I gotta compose myself. We're gonna watch Judge Garcia for a little bit. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Come on up. All right, Mr. Steven, go ahead and give me a brief overview of why you're here and what you're asking for.
This is my cousin. I signed a power of attorney over to him. I was in the hospital at the time this was put together. So with your permission, I'd like for Lloyd to speak on my behalf. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Okay, Your Honor, my cousin Steve, the plaintiff, was living in Mesquite, Texas, and he wanted to move back to San Antonio. And the defendant, who we have all known for over 22 years, contacted him, said, I have a house, you can lease it for $1,000 a month with $1,000 deposit. So she forced him to make an arrangement so that his bank would automatically send her $1,000 on the first of every month. She wouldn't accept checks or any other payment. So we came down on August 2nd I drove the U-Haul. He followed us in his car with the dogs. We pull up to the house. There is a RV in one side of the driveway, a trailer in the other side of the driveway, and the defendants were still living in the house. So he couldn't move in. He had to come back the next day. He had hired workers. He had them come back the next day, had to talk to U-Haul, extend the lease. spent the night at our house with me and my wife. And then he leased this home with the impression that they were moving back to Arkansas, the defendant and her partner, Paul, who is not here today. Instead, they moved into the RV and they were living in the driveway. And for the entire length of the time that my cousin Steve, the plaintiff, paid $1,000 a month rent for the premises, he was denied access to the driveway and the garage. And we asked them multiple times to please move the vehicles. Well, basically leave.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, bud. I appreciate it. You guys are rocking it tonight. Phil, that is awesome. Thank you so much.
He was under the impression she was moving back to Arkansas. She stayed in the house, in the driveway, in that RV with the trailer the entire time he paid rent. She never left. She was coming and going, and her partner, Paul, would come and go in the house, use the shower. This guy, Paul, stored 2 cats in one of the bedrooms. He had no access to one of the bedrooms. He had people coming and going. He never, ever, ever felt that he had a home. He never even unpacked.
Mary, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. I almost canceled tonight's stream. I did. I had a day. It's like I said, the intro, it's my daughter's birthday today. And it hit me today that I'm not with her. You know, she's in Texas, I'm in Ohio. So it sucked. And yeah, I wanted to cancel tonight, and I'm glad I didn't. You guys are awesome. I just, all of you are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys.
Because he was waiting for them to leave. In February,
So right now, what is Mr. Stevens asking for?
we're asking for her to return the entire amount of rent that he paid, because he never ever had the privacy that is indicated in the lease. And
which is how much?
There's 8 months rent plus a deposit. That's $9,000. And I am also asking $11,000 in punitive damages, because the whole time he was there, he had AFib, he was not well, and I believe they took advantage of that. I had to call the police. Myself and these 2 gentlemen here went over to his house to clean his house for him while he was in the hospital. And I was afraid we were going to have a confrontation with the defendant, so I called the police. The police came out and says, look, there's nothing we can do. Go to Assault Claims Court, but you should call Adult Protective Services, which we did. And we talked to them for months. Nothing ever became of that. But I am asking for punitive damages because my cousin was ill, and I believe that they took advantage of his generosity. They stowed cats in his bedroom, denied him access to his house, kept coming and going. He had no privacy.
This guy has power of attorney for the tenant. He's not an attorney, but he has power of attorney for the guy, and he's sitting right next to him. So, and he seems competent. They said at the beginning that when he was in the hospital, this guy was given the power of attorney. He's out of the hospital now. I don't know how that works, but he's speaking for him for that reason. Real quick, Mayor, thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate it. Good to see you, bud. Good to see you. The space for rent. I mean, that's the new joke now. The space for rent. Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you. And thank you for all the birthday wishes to my daughter. She turned 9 today. She turned 9. She's in California. She went to California for the weekend with her mom. So they're having a good time.
And I think that he deserves punitive damages for this, because he never, ever felt at home. He wasn't leasing a house, he was leasing a home. And you have
Lloyd, give me a copy of that lease for me. Constable, if you want to give it to my clerk to scan in.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and give me 1 minute, okay?
I also have photographs to give you a better idea of this, showing the vehicle and the trailer in the driveway. And I took probably 30 photos over
All
the
right,
course of the lease.
All
And
right, give me one
and
minute.
and they're still there.
Give me 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Cheryl, go ahead.
She absolutely does need to adjust that. I do not like how it makes her look bald. The video that I released this morning, there were so many comments asking if she was sick. Why is she bald? It's like, oh no, the green skin looks so bad. It does. This is the judge where the running joke is I have a crush on. So I'm worried. I'm worried. She needs to fix that. Karen, thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to say that I object to Mr. Lloyd representing Steve, but furthermore, he led me on the impression that this case was about a certificate of occupancy, and he has been threatening, pushy, aggressive. He's created tons of damages to my house. Steve did move in. I got my stuff out. Lloyd just told a lie. He said that he couldn't move in and he had to reschedule the U-Haul. That wasn't honest. Honestly, what happened was on August the 1st, the beginning of the lease, Steve and Lloyd drove up and Steve called U-Haul because he contracted workers to unload his U-Haul truck. And when Lloyd and Steve checked on the U-Haul, where was it? They weren't there on time. They had overbooked and they asked if they could come the next day. And Steve said yes. So I asked Steve if it would be okay for me to get the rest of the stuff out of the house. There wasn't that much left in the house, but I said, I'll get the rest of the stuff out of the house and I'll make it up to you. And he said, okay. So he did go with his dogs to Lloyd's house and spent the night. And when he came the next day, that's when the moving help unloaded his goods.
Okay, so Miss Cheryl, this is besides the point. My question is, when did you move out?
I moved out August the 2nd. All of my stuff was out on August the 2nd.
Okay, and where did you move to?
I have a trailer that I'm loading all my stuff up because I'm moving to Arkansas and all of my stuff was in the garage, but we got it all out of there. And the movers put all of Steve's stuff in the garage with the exception of a couple of pieces of furniture in his bed. And they moved that into the bedroom and the living room. And
So when
Steve
did you
said,
move to Arkansas?
I have been moving to Arkansas for a couple of years, to be honest with you, Your Honor.
So you have not moved in yet. You are still back and forth on this property. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct. I moved to Arkansas in 2021. I'm taking care of my mom and dad. My sister was overseas. When she finally got to Arkansas to help me with that is when I put my house up for sale. And it had everything in the garage that I wasn't able to move up to Arkansas when I moved up there. So I went back to sign the papers to sell the house. I had a buyer. And at that time, the buyer backed out all of a sudden. So that created an issue with me. And then my dad got real sick and he died. I had to go back to Arkansas to attend to that activity, unfortunately. And when I got back, I continued to throw out stuff and get things in the trailer, but I continued to have issues with my health. And Steve said it was perfectly fine with him. I could take my time. He understood about heat exhaustion. He never told me he was sick. I had no idea that he was ill. And when
so your testimony is he let you stay on the property while you rented it to him?
Yes, he did.
And of course, none of this was put in writing, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, does anybody have that?
I have text messages and I have canceled checks for when we made a verbal agreement that I would pay he was not able to get his bank to put the money in my bank with the ACH auto pay or bill pay. And that was part of the lease. And I asked him in September, I said, what happened to the rent? And he said, oh, I have to do that. And I said, that's not what we agreed to. We agreed to your bank doing an auto pay with hands free. You and I are not going to be involved in writing checks or going to the bank because I'm going to be living in Arkansas, and I would like to have it automatically. He signed the lease that said he would agree to that. His bank did do the auto payment for the deposit in July, and they did the ACH transaction. And then when he gets here, he's not able to do that for some reason. He didn't do it for August. He brought me a cashier's check. And then September came and there was no automatic payment. And I asked him about that. And he said, oh, I have to do that. And I said, that's not what we agreed to. I said, but you know what? I'm still here. I'm still suffering from the heat exhaustion and bad back and so forth. And I'm just a little slower than I used to be. And I'm sorry about that. And he said, don't worry about it. Take your time. And so I gave him the September rent free. And then he asked me in October if we could work out an arrangement with the utilities. And I said, sure, but where's the automatic payment? And he said, my bank won't do it. And I said, why would they do it in Mesquite before you moved and the bank here won't do it? We could not get his bank to do it. And I gave him an ultimatum. I asked him, if you're not going to be able to have that rental agreement, the check automatically deposited, then I'll give you some options. You can either move or you can pay the rent in advance, and I'll go ahead and accept that if you want to pay the entire amount in advance. And he said, no, he said, let's go ahead and I said, my bank already told me they'll set it up for you. If you want to go to my bank, you'll get a $50 bonus. I'll get a $50 bonus, and it's going to be automatic. And he agreed to that. So I did drive him over to the bank because he didn't have any transportation. He had wrecked his car, and I was running errands for him, and I was picking up food for him. I was taking the electricity payments that I made out to him to his bank and depositing it for him. I would run errands for him. I took him to the ER
So
room.
he didn't pay September. He didn't pay October. Did he pay November?
Yes, it was set up by November. He sure did
So
get
by
that because he
November.
went with me to the bank to get that squared away, and that was okay with him. And then my dog died, and I was torn up with that. I'm so sorry. And I apologized to him extremely. And I said, I'll be out of here as soon as I can get out of here. And he said, that's fine. And then Lloyd decides to step in and tell me that I need to get out, and Steve doesn't want me there. And I asked
So
Steve
when did
about
you officially move?
Officially, I moved in August of 2021.
Okay, but you said September and October and November you were still there.
I was back to clear out.
When did you finally move from the premises? Stop messing with me and giving me a date that I don't want. I already know you were here September, October, and November. After November, when did you move out officially and not step foot on that property anymore?
No, the dog died after stepping on a bee. That's what happened. It's the best defense ever. Let's see. Mary, thank you so much for the super chat. Mary, you are killing it tonight. Mary, thank you. You are very generous. Sparkle was busy playing adult telephone feast bait. Thank you, Mary. I did see that. Sparkle Poots. Hopefully you kicked the crap out of the adult time that you had to do. Mary, thank you. Christina, thank you for the super chat for something nice for your little one. Thank you. I appreciate that. She's at the age where she doesn't really she doesn't really tell me what she wants anymore. She kind of does, but not really. So I got her flowers, and I got her I do this monthly subscription service for her, where it used to be a bunch of little science projects, like either like little like almost like Legos, like you put them together and then they move, or just like little experiments. But she kind of outgrew those, so I actually upgraded it to a cooking one. So that was so every month she gets a little cooking thing that she can do now. But before it was science. But yeah, she wouldn't tell me, so I just ordered her flowers, and I didn't know she was going to be in California today. So yeah, luckily it was only my ex-wife and her that went to California. So my other daughter gets to enjoy the flowers today, which is fine. Her birthday's next week. Yeah, 9 days apart. Well, 1 year and 9 days. They're not 9 days apart. They're really close to Irish twins. Okay. But yeah, thank you for the super chat. That was a long explanation. Okay, let's go.
It never happened.
Okay, so you are back and forth November, December, January, February, back and
With
forth,
his
in and out.
permission, I have the text to show it. And I have the canceled checks to show it that I paid the electricity. I'm trying to make it up to him. And he said, that's fine. He had no problem with that. He was okay. I did give him access to the garage. I moved the stuff out of the way when the U-Haul workers were there. They unloaded his stuff into the garage. And then he wanted to put his wrecked car in the garage. And so my friend Paul asked if he could move his stuff, the boxes out of the garage, so we could get him in the house, and then we could get his car in the garage. And he said, sure, that's no problem. Nothing was a problem with him. I have the texting and the canceled checks that show we were all in agreement until Lloyd decided to step in and make up false.
And now what canceled checks are you talking about? You're talking about just the electricity.
Utility. Yeah.
Okay, not the rent.
No, I only gave him, I asked
The
him.
rent was automatically set up since November, correct?
Since November, yes. Not from the beginning, but a few months later with my help. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you were living in that RV on the side, in and out, going in and out throughout this lease. Is that correct?
Most of the time, yes.
Okay.
That's correct. I was using it for storage. When Lloyd called the code compliance people to come and talk to me, they're the ones that informed me that I was not able to sleep in the RV. And I said, okay, what do I need to do to be in compliance? And he said, unplug it. And when you're ready to load up, you have 3 days to load up. And at that time, I was given 10 days to get out and get all of my belongings out and move the RV and get off the property. And I wasn't able to do that because of my health. And Steve said that was okay, not a problem. So I continued to try to get my stuff together. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. And when he said, you can stay as long as you want, Cheryl, it doesn't bother me. And I said, well, what about this text from Lloyd? What do I do with Lloyd? He wants to report me to the authorities and take legal action. And he said, you know, Cheryl, he overstepped his boundaries. You don't need to answer him. And the next thing I know, here comes the code compliance people. So I got.
Okay, so do you have that text where it says that you could stay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me see it.
Yeah, I told you guys, this is a weird one. I don't even know what to say. I mean,
Okay. Mr. Steven, while she's finding the
he thought he was renting a house, but instead he was you know, he was getting a roommate. Just so he had no idea.
those text messages, what's your take on all of this?
You're asking me myself?
Yes, I am.
I don't believe I ever said it was okay. I tried to be as friendly as I could because we've known each other for a long time. But not having access to one of the bedrooms and the driveway and the 2-car garage, which I was paying for, I was not happy about it at all.
Give me 1 minute. I'm letting her get that information.
May I say something?
Go ahead.
I would like to.
See now, no. If you're gonna let the power of attorney speak, why is he speaking? I'm just saying. The whole power of attorney fake lawyer thing is baffling to me. I mean, I don't know if it's legal for him to be power of attorney and then, act like an attorney. Like you guys have been talking about it, you've been discussing it in the chat. I kind of see people are on both sides, so I have no idea what to say on that.
Know where in the lease I've looked through, and I don't see anything in the lease about having these ACH payments. There's nothing in the lease. This is a lease you can download off the internet. So her stipulations about all this ACH payment are not in the. It just says right here, tenant shall pay landlord the sum of $1,000 per month as rent for the term of the agreement. Due date for rent payment shall be first day of the calendar month. So there's nothing weakens tenant's obligation to timely pay rent via direct deposit at Texas United Credit Union. Unfortunately, they could not. They were trying for months to organize these payments, and she had
All right, never mind. I thought that was the tenant that was speaking. That's still the guy with the power of attorney. My bad. My bad.
Had access to all his banking information, passwords, everything. And it was really an inconvenience for him to do that, but he did. And we have the bank statements from November showing he paid the $1,000. All we're saying, Your Honor, the defendant said she was moving to Arkansas. She never moved to Arkansas. She stayed there the entire time he was leasing the home, denying him access, coming and going. And, you know, I knew she was taking advantage of my cousin. That's why I came in with him and said, we're going to file a lawsuit against Cheryl. Because I've known my cousin for years. He was my mentor. We're both drummers. I wouldn't be playing drums if it wasn't for this man. So we are very close. I'm closer to my cousin than I am my brother. And I saw him being taken advantage of. So I stepped in. Yes, I did a lot of research. I filed the lawsuit. My name should be on the lawsuit. And we just contend that she never left. She's still living there. She never intended to go back to Arkansas. And if she says her health, she was in the backyard doing yard work. So if she's healthy enough to do yard work, she's healthy enough to drive an RV.
Okay, give me 1 minute. Miss
Yes, ma'am.
Cheryl,
Yes, ma'am.
you have the text message?
I cannot find the text message. I have the texts that talk about the checks and so forth.
Miss Cheryl, this is the
Yes,
whole
ma'am.
basis of your whole case. The whole case is that you knew what this case was about because you got served with it. Okay. You're well aware that his allegations are that you've been on the property the entire time and he didn't get full use of the property. So wouldn't you think that if you had the ace in the hole card stating that he would allow you to stay on that property and it would dismiss this whole case? If you had it, don't you think that that would be the first piece of paper you would print out?
I have that on my lease. Did you get a copy of the lease, Your Honor?
Yes, I concede that. That's correct. And it was a very
I got a copy of a lease.
Yes, and it's a very serious inconvenience to force him.
When I submitted my paperwork, I submitted the lease as
Okay, stop.
Sorry,
Stop.
I apologize.
I am talking to Cheryl, so be quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
Cheryl, what are you talking about? It's on the lease.
The lease states that if the property is not ready, then the tenant has an option to go somewhere else or accept the property when it's ready, is my understanding to the lease. And that's in the very beginning.
So that allows you to stay on the property through the entire lease?
Well, ma'am, I understood the lease to say that. So yes.
No, we're not.
As number one, Lloyd doesn't have an
Thank you so much for that comment. I appreciate you clearing that up. Also, like your name. I'm gonna fuck around and find out, Law Redhead. I'm gonna stay away from the finding out portion of what happens with the redhead that's an attorney. Yeah, I'm gonna stay in my lane. Don't worry.
authorized or legitimate power of attorney. He's using a power of attorney that has no witnesses and no notary. So he actually took the paper to Steve and said, woke him up out of a dead sleep and told him to sign the paper. When Steve says, what is it? What's going on? Steve said, I don't know what this is. And Lloyd had a meltdown and decided to force him to sign this illegitimate power of attorney. So when he signed
What does that have to do with the case today?
it's to show you that Lloyd has interrupted a relationship between me and Steve.
Okay. I understand that Lloyd may have interrupted a relationship that was beneficial to you. Okay.
And yes,
but
ma'am.
that has nothing to do with today. The case was filed against Stephen versus Cheryl. Lloyd has every right to come in here and speak on behalf of Mr. Stevens, whether there's a power of attorney or not. This is a JP small claims court.
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
you are veering from the point of this case. I don't care whose power of attorney. I asked you simply if it was okay for you to rent out a property and for you to remain on that property while the tenant is paying full rent and yet you get to use that property as well as the tenant, but yet the tenant is paying full rent for that property. That's the question of the day.
Ma'am, there were other circumstances. Steve was very sick. He kept falling down, and I had to go pick him up. Paul had to pick him up. We even called the ER for him so they could get him up off the ground. As far as I can remember,
Mr. Steven, have you had any health issues? Have you been falling on the ground in and out and needing help?
Not in quite some time. I spent some time in the hospital in February and early March. Then I went to a rehab facility, and all those things have gone away now. But that has
Okay,
to do
so
with
that
atrial
negates that,
fibrillation.
That negates that, Miss Cheryl. Give me something else.
his sister called and said, "Thank you. Steve told me that he passed out and you saved his life." And Steve thanked me very much for saving his
So
life.
that allows you to stay on the property and I'm
protect
just
the
trying to
property.
get a justification, Miss Cheryl, of how you're going to justify this case with you accepting $1,000 rent every month and you remaining on the property and utilizing that property to your full benefit.
With his permission.
Okay, but you keep saying that, and I've asked you for proof of that.
Okay.
You can't present me an email. You can't present me a text message. You can't present me anything. I've asked you.
Well, we had an agreement that I would pay the electric bills, and I have the copies of the checks.
Mr. Stevens, do you have an agreement that Miss Cheryl is going to pay the electric bills?
She mentioned that since she was still plugged into the house in the RV, that she would take care of the electric bill during that period of time.
Based on what?
I'm sorry?
She would take care of the electric bills because she was going to stay there, or because what?
No, because she was using the electricity that I was paying for from the house, the account was in my name. But she had her RV plugged into the electricity from the house.
Ed, good to see you. Of course I'm happy here. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you.
She was using electricity.
Ma'am, I was unplugged. I was unplugged. I was in compliance with code compliance, and my case was dismissed. I was unplugged. It was for storage only, and I was unplugged, and that's exactly what the code compliance said to do. I'll be very happy.
Do you see where all these discrepancies are when nothing is put in writing and everything is veered off from the lease?
I have several texts from Steve giving me the okay to go. He wanted me to pick up his prescriptions, and I did. He wanted me to go pick
Ma'am,
up.
that doesn't justify anything. That's
a
home health care.
He was a animal lover, and it was okay to keep the cats in one room that he was not using anyway. He went in and visited the cats. He used to have cats. He switched to dogs. Furthermore, he was damaging my property, and I was freaking out, I guess. He was not having his dogs go outside. He was letting them go inside. I have hardwood floors. He damaged the floors permanently. I kept cleaning them up.
Again, Ms. Cheryl, if you want to turn around and sue him for everything he did or didn't do, you're more than welcome to. But you have not done that, and you're not going to piggyback on this case. He has sued you for the lease amount. And again, unless you can prove to me that you have something in writing that allows you to stay there on the premises and benefit from all of this, and yet just pay the light and the water, then I'm going to have to proceed forward.
I have the text right here.
Let me see yet again that I've asked for.
Okay.
She found the text. Yay! Sparkle Poots! Lady, if I have to grow up, so do you. Agreed. If we have to grow up, so do we. Sorry, real quick. Mary, thank you. Ed has arrived. Mark that late fee paid. Thank you. Ed's late fee is paid. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. All right. We're winding this one down a little. What do you guys think she's gonna do? The Judge Garcia is gonna do? I was a little shocked, but it kind of makes sense by her decision. But I want to know what you guys are gonna do. How much, if any, is she going to award the plaintiff here, the tenant? All right, I'll make it even easier for you because I don't think they've thrown out a lot of numbers. They've said $1,000 in rent. I don't think they've clearly defined how long they've been there yet. So, do you think Judge Garcia is gonna give them back 100% of the rent, 75%, 50, or 25%? There we go. There we go. 4 choices, or 0, or 0. You could have 0. So there's 5 choices. There we go. Tree fitting. Sly, thank you. Paid my own late fee. Oh, Sly, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good to see you, Sly.
Your Honor, please forgive me. My text is skipping around. Just give me one moment. I will show you where he has decided to move out and break the lease without.
No, that's not what I asked you. You're veering everywhere that I need you not to be.
Okay. So I will tell you this. They figure out that it's 9 months. I don't think that's spoiling it. But when they're about to start talking about money right now, and they come up with 9 months. 9 months at $1,000 per month.
I simply asked you, do you have a text stating it allows you to be on this property while you are leasing from him and accepting $1,000 for this property, and it allows you to utilize that room, the storage, the RV, everything, and still accept $1,000 from him?
All I have is the text that says, I know you'd want to know that I'm going to be turning off the CPS electricity. And I said, in response, I've been paying the entire bill as we agreed for the inconveniences I've created. What happened? And he said he's tying up loose ends and preparing for a move. And then on April 19th, he actually moved out of the house. He did pay for the April. That was the automatic deposit. So he did pay for April. And he told me that Lloyd told him that as long as he was there, that I would never leave. And because he was asking me to help him, and I didn't want to have damaged property. So that's all I have is when he said he's going to
That's
move.
not sufficient enough. Ms. Cheryl, how many months did he pay you rent at $1,000?
10. I'm sorry,
10
9.
months?
It was 9 months.
9 months. Okay.
Plus deposit.
Okay. And Mr. Stevens, you're in agreement to 9 months of rent, correct? That was paid?
Yes, ma'am, and I have bank records.
Plus deposit.
Okay. Okay. I didn't ask that. I said you're in agreement to 9 months of rent. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The deposit, something completely different. She's got to do the walkthrough and everything else for the deposit. So I'm not even going to go there with the deposit. So we're at $9,000 split in half. That's $4,500. Judgment's going to be in the amount of $4,500. Everybody is splitting the rent for the 9 months that everybody was on the premises for that rent. So judgment's going to be in the amount of $4,500. Everyone's got 21 days to appeal it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. And
Okay, I'm gonna. Yes, y'all are free to go.
I'm not an attorney. I just dress this way out of respect for the court.
Thank you, sir.
And Lloyd, it's number 3 on the lease that says it's an automatic deposit to my bank. If you want to read number 3.
Why would she
Okay.
feel the need to say that? Even the attorney comment. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? No one. Well, to be fair, I didn't have it in this video, but he was sitting in the front row, and Judge Garcia did come in and said, "You in the suit in the front, are you an attorney? And what case are you on?" So he said, "No, I'm not an attorney." That happened about a half hour before this case was even called. So he was actually kind of responding to Judge Garcia. But yeah, that was an unnecessary comment. So was whatever her name was trying to push more information. Like, no, it's over. 4,500. Split it in half. All right. Mary. Jeez, Mary. Thank you. I appreciate it. Slide does not win. They have a larger fee now paid in full. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. You hear that, Slide? You don't win. You don't win. All right. Now we're gonna move on to the last case. This one's only I think it's only about 3 minutes long. Do you guys remember the video from last week when I played? I think it was last week. I don't even remember when it was, but when I was calling this guy, this is the biggest idiot of the internet award. The guy who successfully tried to talk his attorney out of representing him. That guy. Well, he was back in court today. And I just wanted to show you this quick follow-up of the Nelson hearing that they had today. And yeah, but it's only about 3 minutes long. So I am going to let this play out. I am going to go look for someone to raid, but yeah, there's only 3 minutes, so I'm going to let it play out. You guys have been awesome tonight. Thank you so much. You guys have been stupid generous with super chats. Mary, you were awesome. Jedi, Wixom, everybody. Thank you so much. Leo Fiction, like everybody. I don't like listing off names because I always forget to list somebody. But thank you. You guys have been great. Biggin, again, thank you for the raid tonight. Yeah, I don't know who we're gonna raid yet. It's probably going to be, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Lone Wolf. It's Thursday. If it's somebody else, then I'll make sure to pause it and let you know where we're going. But thank you so much. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night, and have a good night. Until next time, bye.
Got Mr. Haddix next, Judge.
All right, Mr. Haddix. Mr. Haddix, good morning to you. How are you doing? All right, we were here on Tuesday. We had a brief discussion. I asked you if you had any issues or disagreements with Mr. Hill. You said no, you did not want to discharge him, but at the very end, you said you did not trust him. I didn't know what you meant by that, so I wanted to bring you back here today to see if you are asking me to do anything specific, or have you resolved your issues?
Me and Mr. Hill had a conversation, and it's just something that I still kind of was unclear about.
Okay.
And last time we was in court, you was able to pull up, you brought up some locations that was submitted about a phone, and I have to say that the in that particular phone that you read, that was my co-defendant stuff. So the alleged device that they claim belongs to me is the Apple iPhone 13, and I wanted to know if that cell bright and that stuff was submitted into evidence.
Nothing has been submitted into evidence because we haven't had a trial yet.
That was all
or an evidentiary hearing. Was that the issue that you had?
Yeah, because I figured it would have been part of my discovery, and it wasn't.
Okay, well, if there's a Cellbrite report for that iPhone, and Mr. Hill says there is, if you haven't received that information, he'll provide that information to you.
Yeah.
But so we are clear, you are not seeking to discharge Mr. Hill, are you?
No, I'm not. We had a very well conversation yesterday, and got on the same page.
Okay. All right. So what do we need to do now?
He's already set for August the 12th, asked him to remain there because in addition to speaking to him yesterday, I spoke to Mr. Patterson as well as the case agent on the case. And the case agent, had spoke to a supervisor with the Georgia Department of Probation up there about getting us this information as soon as possible. So like I said, I explained to Mr. Haddix yesterday that how important it was for us to get this information. And he told me that the probation officers themselves actually wear body cameras, and not just the GBI agents, but the probation officers themselves. And it's my understanding from reading the reports that the probation officers are the ones that had the important contact and would have captured any their body cam would have captured any statements that Mr. Haddix made, and also captured the recovery of the phone that's in question. So it's obviously very important that we get any reports that are out there and this body camera footage so that we can review it. And like I said, I explained to Mr. Haddix that if anything comes out of that evidence when it comes to us that assists me in filing the motion to suppress, then I'll certainly use that to his advantage. So that's where we're at.
All right, Mr. Haddix, sounds like everything's moved over, and we'll see you August 12th.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Richard Bibb.